Susu kalung pima anak munjingin. Ama bang ku ise na kubay zani sunat di mangin. Tunihin nursing day yadi ito. Kihonin nurses. Nursing is a ministry. Kasi nursing is not just a profession. Nursing itself is a ministry too. Igel binguin kadin. Business as mission di saying they are business as mission say what international level azong anasayu edin. Ama bang tunay sa atong tunay in business as mission ditalawin. Business is mission akikitan. Na business dong patina nakatlo owaile that itself is a mission akikin. Nursing dong too is a ministry. Ayun le nursing itself is a mission. Isay no mo Bible sang Matthew 25, 35, 36. Kasi nomin, I'm going to read from 25 chapter of Matthew. Verses 35 and 36. I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. I think most importantly, we want to say I was sick and you took care of me or you nursed me. That is what I would like to say. Maybe I'm going to speak in a mixed language for the sake of those of you who may not know the message. Next to the doctor in hospital, nurses are the most important people. And whenever they come, we expect something from them. I have been a patient way back in 1984. I was hospitalized in Wadia Hospital in Pune. I got a very high fever and I thought if I go to the hospital, they will give me some medicine, and then that would be okay. So with a cycle, a borrowed cycle, I went down to Wadia Hospital, and they check my BP, they check my temperature, and finally they say, you cannot go back. I said, no, I have to go back. They said, you will collapse on the way. Your temperature is too high. I said, no, even the bicycle is a borrowed bicycle. I don't come to stay in a hospital. They say, no, you have to come back. You must come back. So I went back, managed to went back, and I also, came back to the hospital. I was admitted. I just want to say that a Kasi lady happened to be a nurse there in this Pune. When she came to know that a person from Northeast India is being admitted, she came and looked, found me out, talked to me, and say where I am from and what sickness do I have. And not only that, she informed the medical, superintendent's daughter, whose friends are from Manipur. She told her that a young man from Manipur is being admitted and he has high fever. So the next day, you can imagine all these Manipuri girls coming to my room, packed, and visiting me. Those days, when someone is sick from, Manipur, we take care of them. I just want to say, next to the doctor, you have a very important role to play in healing the sick. and carry the sufferings. I also want to say secondly, that taking your job, if you take it as just a way of earning money, then you are not different from any other employees. But if you think that I am a kingdom person, God's kingdom person, kingdom business. There was a taxi driver in New York, and as he was driving, an African man was sitting at the back. So the African man asked this taxi driver, "Hi brother, how long have you been driving?" He said, "I'm driving more than 10 years. And for what purpose you are driving taxi? Are you having family or are you a student?" He said, "The purpose is I am a kingdom driver." And this man said, "I do not know from what kingdom you are talking about." And this man said, "I am God's kingdom driver. I am a born-again Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Whatever I do it for Him. So I consider even driving this taxi as a kingdom driver." This African man said, "Hey, brother, I'm also a Christian. I'm a pastor." So they started talking. And so this man, the driver, asked him, "How many, poor children are in your village? Do they have a good road? Do they have a good water supply? Do they have sports, football, volleyball to play?" And this man said, "We don't have, smooth road. We don't have running water, and no games to play." So he said, "I am going to come to your place. We will make at least 1 mile road, 1 water, supply, and I will bring sports equipment." So he started that business. He said, "I am doing this, not just for my living, but I am doing it for Jesus Christ." If you take your profession for Jesus Christ, then you have a reason to live. You have a reason to be grateful. But if you don't take it as for Christ, if you take it as just a profession, then you will be always unhappy. If someone's pay is even 1 rupee higher than you will not be very happy. If someone gets more leaves than you will not be unhappy. If someone posts you in a different, a little bit difficult place, more duties, you will not be happy. So take this as a profession from God. And I want to challenge you, if you are a believer, that is what we want to talk about today. Nursing as a ministry. You are in the ministry. I am in the ministry. You are in the ministry. You are in the ministry in the hope of taking care of people who are sick and suffering. WHO defines that sickness as comprises of 4 areas. Physically sick, socially sick, that is relational sickness, and mental sickness, and spiritual sickness. Now when people come to you, they come because of the physical reason. But all those sicknesses are not physical reasons. It may come in the form of physical sickness, but it is not all the physical sickness. It could be a mental sickness, it could be a relational sickness, someone who cannot carry anymore about their mental problem. It comes in different ways. A few weeks back, I went to the dentist, and the dentist told me looking at my teeth. He said, "You are biting your teeth in the night." I say, "Yes, I sense that." Then I say, "What would be the remedy?" He said, "He's a young chap, my Daniel's classmate, our son's classmate." And so he said, "Uncle," he called me uncle. "Uncle, I may have to say, you have tension." Now here he is, a young chap telling me that the pastor has tension. And he said, that tension, which you may know or may not know, is causing you to bite your teeth in the night. Now that is the physical symptom, but the main thing is behind. He said, "Can I suggest you that you take exercise?" One would be a relief. The second would be, if you go to massage center, let them massage you. That would relieve you from those tensions. He doesn't say read the Bible at least, but what I want to tell you is, when people come to hospital, first of all, they are treated as people suffering from these body ailments. But it is not just the body ailments. People are also suffering from spiritual sickness. Spiritual sickness in the form of demonic attack, spiritual sickness in the form of too lonely, or overridden with guilt feeling, overridden with unforgiveness. And so it comes in different forms. I want to just quickly point out partly how to minister. Number one is caring. Satibari is known for the care that we receive. I'm also part of the Satibari Hospital, related to it for more than 10 years. And I'm so happy that wherever we go, people are talking about people who are trained in mission hospitals are much better in terms of caring, in the way they treat patients, in the way that they look after patients, because they treat them with care. And I think that's important. Caring is something that you provide to the patients, and we all need caring. Not only caring, a good smile from a nurse is very helpful. If you don't have a smiling face, you come with a gloomy face. I have seen nurses as if they are, we are giving them extra trouble. It is so important that if you are taking this as a profession for Jesus Christ, you need to have a smile. You need to develop that smile. You need to even talk to the patient. Don't just treat them as, I just want to say, anyway, I will say later. Don't treat them as just a patient, but treat them as people. Some years back, CBCMEI with other related hospitals organized nursing conference. I was asked to speak, and they gave me a topic to say, nurses are people too. That is the topic. Nurses are people too. But in my message, I say, patients are also people. We are not kidney patient. We are not bed number 10. Patients are also people. It is so important that, a smile, a good smile takes away a lot of problems in us. If a person has psychological problems, if a person is depressed, a good smile, cheering up, even to say good morning itself is a medicine. It has certain effects on the patient. I believe Jesus, we're going to talk about Jesus in this review, but touching is important too. Touch has power. And there is what we call therapeutic touch. By touching the person is relieved of, in certain level of tension. And I believe that this is part of your ministry. Encourage them with words. Oh, you are much better than yesterday. Itself is a big thing. That Kasi lady that I mentioned, one day what happened was, I was supposed to be taking ultrasound. That hospital doesn't have ultrasound. And Bible students used to come, at least 2 will come to take care of me. But on that particular day, no one came. In other words, no one also brought food for me. You can imagine, everything falls together. And the doctor says that I have to go out and get the ultrasound sonography. Finally, I was too weak, so there was no way to go. I was so depressed that day. In fact, I started thinking about, poor little me, my friends are having class, I am here suffering, and no lunch. At least the hospital brought breakfast, but no lunch, no tea, and I cannot get out of the hospital room. Late in the evening, this cousin nurse came. She said, I was on duty in the operation room, I could not come the whole day, and I'm sorry. And she came, she said, is there anything that I can do for you now? Can I bring tea for you? Can I do something for you? I said, I need lunch and dinner. Combined. I need lunch and dinner. Oh, she went out and she arranged something and brought it. Because that speaks volumes about healing. I think it is part of being cared for. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are regarded as a person. You are important. If not, you are precious. That kind of treatment is actually very, very healing for the patient. That's why words have power and words do heal. If you say to a patient, looking at the chart and say, you are very hopeless. Let me tell you one story. From Vietnam War, 2 US soldiers were badly, very badly wounded. One person, his face, the skin was just removed, if not shot from this side, and he said, when I touch my nose, I touch here, because the skin is dangling here. And he said, he pulled the skin back, hold it, and paramedical lifted with helicopter. Now in Texas hospital, and swollen face, and all hairs burned, no eyelash, nothing, because of the smoke plus, the fire. And now he's waiting for his girlfriend to visit him. Now he said, I do not know what will she say. He said, he went into the bathroom. He looked at his face in the bathroom. He said, my face extended, almost half of it. because it is solemn. He said, even I don't like myself, what I see. Anyway, next to him, his friend, who was also injured, badly injured, and one leg gone, girlfriend came. Girlfriend looked at him, and this poor fellow said, I lost my leg, and I'm badly injured. This girlfriend said, I'm sorry. Remove the ring, the engagement ring, and say, I'm sorry, please keep this ring with you. Bye-bye. Because I expect mine to be husband, or my husband, to be able to walk and take me to shopping mall, and walk with me. I will not be able to accept you anymore. That man died that night. Too soft. The story says that he was able to recover from those injuries. But when he was rejected, he died that night. So the next day, this big-faced man, his fiancée arrived. He is also prepared. Maybe today, tonight, I'm going to die. And the fiancée came, looked at him, and smiled. He said, you look like pumpkin. And he said, I'm sorry, I am not handsome at all. And this lady said, to be very honest, you are never handsome. I like you, I like you. It's not just because you are handsome, but I like you. That's why, I have chosen you. And he said, she chose where to kiss me because all these are, wounded. And there is one little spot on my head which is clean. And she bent down and kissed. He said, after 2 weeks, I was discharged. They got married. Now that is the power of healing. Medicine does heal in certain level. But healing do come from the brain, healing do come from the heart, and healing do come from words of encouragement. And let me also say this, I already said, know your patients impossible by names, not by their bed numbers, not by their gallbladder, kidney stone, BP problem, diabetic patient, that's a part of your routine work. But all those who are on the bed, they have names, they have family, and they are people. Eternally loved by God. God loves them. And I think that is your mission field. That is the place where you are supposed to be caring. You are supposed to be showing how Jesus will take care. If Jesus is in your place. And quickly provide them hope in a very hopeless situation. It is always very good when nurses are smiling at us and saying, I will see you tomorrow. I hope you will be much better tomorrow. If you are in the hospital, you wait for the next day that nurse would show up and check your BP again. You have a ministry. You are in a very important job. Let me go to the next. How Jesus approached the sick and the suffering. I want to mention a few points, but before that, I also want us to know that Jesus did not write off sickness as an illusion. Jesus didn't say it is a mental problem. There were people who are really sick. It is not just an illusion. And Jesus took care of them. Secondly, this is a big one. Jesus did not blame them because of their sickness. It is always easy to blame people, especially by saying, for example, maybe you have committed sin. Maybe you are, a sinner, and that's why you are deserving this. Jesus never said like that. All those that He healed, hundreds or if not thousands of them, Jesus never blamed them by saying it is because of your sin. Never He did that. And He never discouraged them. He always gave them hope and encouraged them. So this morning, as we look at, I want to mention maybe 4 or 5 things about the way Jesus cared. And that would be, I'm going to close it soon. My computer has some problem with this, so it will be very interesting. He had compassion on them. The Bible says, when He saw the crowd, He saw them as sheep without shepherd, and He was moved. Some translation says. Some translation says that He had compassion on them. Now the Greek text says that His heart was shaken, His liver was shaken. Moved. The word actually is moved. Jesus' heart was beating fast. He was moved to see the sick and the suffering. That is the first qualification when it comes to healing the sick, especially for Jesus and the ministry. Let me say Mother Teresa here. When Robert Suller, a pastor from California, big church, now that church, he sold it. Robert Suller visited Mother Teresa in Calcutta. Mother Teresa had a place called House of the Dying, or Home of the Dying, House of the Dying. And people who are almost on the verge of death, they are there. Thrown out by families. They are left either by the roadside, left outside their home by their own family members, by children, by parents. Mother Teresa would take those people, give them a good bath, clean them up, and give them a good place to sleep, and give them food. Now, Robert Suller visited that place. He asked Mother Teresa, did people die immediately when they come here? Mother Teresa said, no. In fact, the opposite happened. How did the opposite happen? When you nurse them with love, when you care for them, when you give them good food, those who are about to die, they survive and they live again. Some live for 1 year, some live for 3 years. So, Robert Suller said, then I want you to change your cycle. Don't call it House of the Dying, but call it House of the Living. Because those who are about to die, because you care, you make them alive. Or God gave them life again. This morning, that kind of care and compassion is important. Secondly, Jesus touched them. Jesus touched the leper. He never touched leper in the past, especially in the Old Testament. They were taken outside. They were isolated. But these men say to Jesus, Lord, if you would. If you want, you can. I am willing. And he touched her. That touch, not just healed him, that touch confirmed him that he is being loved, he is being cared, and he is precious in the sight of God. Jesus touched the sick and the suffering. Jesus speak to them. What do you want me to do? On many, many occasions, he would ask them, what do you want me to do? And here is a blind man who said, Jesus, son of David, help me. Jesus called him and said, what do you want me to do for you? And this man said, I want to see. Conversation, talking to a person, taking them as important, with dignity. Jesus treat people like that. Fourthly, Jesus defend them. Defend because the sick and suffering needs confirmation. The sick and suffering needs someone's approval. When Jesus healed a woman suffering with a chronic sickness for 18 years, he healed her instantly inside a synagogue. Okay. The Pharisees accused him, but Jesus defended this woman whom Satan had given this sickness for 18 years. Why not I set her free on this day? Why not we set her free immediately? She was set free. And finally, Jesus healed a multitude. When Jesus landed, he saw a large crowd. He had compassion on them and he healed them. Touch is important. Speaking is important. And having compassion is important. And even defending the right of the patient is important. I'm closing with a story. And way back, there was a Catholic father by the name Damian. This happened hundreds of years back. And now in US, Washington DC, Capitol building, there are 50 statues. Out of those 50 statues, there is a statue of this Father Damian. The story happened to be like this, that when Europeans migrated from Europe to America, and particularly to Hawaii, they did not come with just business, but they also brought sickness, and sickness in the form of leprosy. Europeans, first settlers, they also came with leprosy. The Hawaiians did not have not had this leprosy, and they were terrified. When they saw that their fingers are becoming shorter and shorter, when they saw that parts of their bodies are decaying, they are so afraid that anyone suffering with this sickness, they put them in another island, which is called Molokai or Molokai Island. So here is hundreds of people with this sickness in Molokai Island, small island. When this young Catholic priest, Father Damian, came to know about that, he volunteered to go there. He decided to go and take care of those who are suffering. Actually, this is the original picture of Father Damian taken with those leprosy. People say, be careful, leprosy will, you will be infected. Don't touch them. And different warnings. But soon he contracted the disease. On one morning, when he gave a sermon, he called "We the lepers," because he knew that he already had that sickness. He said, for about some months, I started preaching calling "You the lepers." But on that morning, he saw signs of his skin developing that leprosy. And he started saying, "We the lepers." He served there for 16 years. And he died there. Before he died, a hospital was established. And today you can see Father Damien's statue in Washington, D.C. as one of the most important, respected person. Because someone is willing to give his life, that others will lead a better life. I close with this. Jesus said, "I was sick and he took care of me. I was suffering, he took care of me." Words can heal. Smiles has an impact. And good words, even encouragement, I believe are essential. May God help us that we will